A Gentle Story of Two Lovers Young by Percy Bysshe Shelley. A gentle story of two lovers young who met in innocence and died in sorrow, and of one selfish heart whose raincoat clung like curses on them. Are ye slow to bow the law of truth from such a tale? Or in this world's deserted vale do ye not see a star of gladness pierce the shadows of its sadness, when ye are cold with love is a light sent from heaven, which none shall quench to cheer the innocent? A Ghost Story by Percy Bysshe Shelley. A shovel of his ashes took from the heart's obscurest nook, muttering mysteries as she went. Helen and Henry knew that Granny was as much afraid of ghosts as any, and so they followed hard, but Helen clung to her brother's arm, and her own spasm made her shake. A Lament by Percy Bysshe Shelley. O world, O life, O time, on whose last steps I climb, trembling at that where I had stood before, when will return the glory of her prime, no more, or never more. Out of a day and night a joy has taken flight, fresh spring and summer and winter hoar, move my faint heart with grief, but with delight, no more, or never more. A New National Anthem by Percy Bysshe Shelley. God prosper, speed, and save, God raise from England's grave a murdered queen, path of swift victory, the steps of liberty, whom Britain's own to be immortal queen. See, she comes throned on high, on swift eternity, God save the queen. Millions on millions wait, firm, rapid, and elate, on her majesty's state, God save the queen. She is thine own pure soul, moulding the mighty whole, God save the queen. She is thine own deep love, rained down from heaven above, there she rests or move, God save our queen. Wild are her enemies, in their own dark disguise, God save the queen. All earthly things that dare her sacred name to bear, strip them as kings are, bare, God save the queen. Be her eternal throne, built in our hearts alone, God save the queen. Let the oppressor hold canopied seats of gold, she sits enthroned of old, o'er our heart's queen. Lips touched by seraphim, breathe out the carol hymn, God save the queen. Sweet as of angels sang, loud as the trumpets sang, waken at the world's dead gang, God save the queen. A Romance Chamber by Percy Bysshe Shelley. In the cave which wild weeds cover, wait for thine eternal lover, for the pallid moon is warning of the spirit's suppressed hanging, and the moon no cloud is staining. It was once the Romance chamber, where he kept his darkest revels, and the wild weeds twine and clamber, it was then the chasm for devils. A Summer Evening Churchyard by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The wind has swept from the wild atmosphere each vapour that obscured the sunset's ray, and pallid evening twines its beaming hair, and duskier braids around the languid eyes of day. Silence and twilight, unbeloved of man, creep hand in hand from you, obscurest glen. They breathe their spells towards the departing day, encompassing the earth, air, stars, and sea. Light, sound, and motion on the pottent sway, responding to the charm of its own mystery. The winds are still, over dry church tower grass, knows not the gentle motions as they pass. Woe to aerial pile, whose pinnacles point from one shrine like pyramids of fire, obeys in silence the sweet solemn spells, clothing in hues of heaven thy dim and distant spire, around whose lessening and invisible height gather among the stars the clouds of night. The dead are sleeping in their sepulchres, and mouldering as they sleep a thrilling sound half sense of thought among the darkness stirs, breathed from the warmy beds or living things around, and mingling with the still night and mute sky its awful hush is felt inaudible. Thus solemnized and softened, dead is mild, and terrorless as the serenest night. Here could I hope, like some inquired child sporting on graves, that there did hide from human sight sweet secrets, recite its breathless sleep, that loveliest dreams perpetual watch did keep. A Tale Untold by Percy Bysshe Shelley. One sung of thee who left the tale untold, like a false dawns which perish in the bursting, like empty cups of wrought and daily gold, which mock the lips with air when they are thirsting. A Wanderer by Percy Bysshe Shelley. He wanders like a day-appearing dream through the dim wilderness of a mind, through desert woods and tracts which seem like ocean, homeless, boundless, unconfined. Death in Life by Percy Bysshe Shelley. My head is heavy, my limbs are weary, and it is not life that makes me move. Good Night by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Good night? I know, we are as ill which the rear boasted should unite. Let us remain together still, then it will be good night. How can I call the long night good, while thy sweet wishes wing its flight? Be it not said, thought understood, when it will be good night. To hearts which near each other move from evening close to morning light, the night is good, because, my love, I never say good night. Home by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Dear home, for scant of earliest hopes and joys, the least of which wrong memory ever makes, bitterer than all thine unremembered tears. I Would Not Be King by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I would not be king enough, of woe it is to love. The path to power is steep and rough, and tempest drained above. I will not climb the imperial throne, this built on ice which fortune's sun draws in the height of noon. When farewell, king, yet will I one, care would not come so soon, but he and I were far away, keeping flocks in Himalaya. Is it that in some brighter sphere? By Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. Is it that in some brighter sphere we part from friends we meet with here, or we see the future pass of the present's dusky glass? Or what is that makes us seem to patch up fragments of a dream, part of which comes true, and part beats and trembles in the heart? Liberty, by Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. And the fiery mountains answer each other, their thunderings are echoed from zone to zone. The tempestuous oceans awake one another, and the icebergs are shaken round winter's throne, the clarion of a typhoon is blown. From a single cloud the lightning flashes, whilst the thousand isles are illuminate around. Earthquake is trampling one city to ashes, and hundred are shuddering and tottering, the sound is bellowing underground. But keener I gaze when the lightnings glare, and swifter they step when the earthquakes tramp. For their feet is the range of the ocean, by star makes blind volcanoes, the sun's bright lamp to vines of thin fire damp. From billow and mountain and exhalation, the sunlight is starting through vapor and blast. From spirit to spirit, from nation to nation, from city to hamlet, thy dawning is cast, and tyrants and slaves are like shadows of night in the van of the morning light. Life rounded with sleep, by Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. The babe is at peace within the womb, the corpse is at rest within the tomb. We begin in what we end. Lines to a Critic, by Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. Honey from silkworms who can gather, or silk from the yellow bee, or grass may grow in winter weather as soon as hate in me. Hate men who can't, and men who pray, and men who rail like a thee. An equal passion to repay, they are not coy like me, or seek some slave of power and gold to be thy dear heart's mate. Thy love will move from big and cold sooner than me, thy hate. A passion like the one I prove cannot divided be. I hate thy want of truth and love, how should I when hate we? Love, hope, desire, and fear, by Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. And many there were, heard by that strong boy. His name, they said, was Pleasure, and he him stood glorious beyond measure, four ladies who possess all empery in earth and air and sea. Nothing that lives from their award is free. Their names will I declare to thee, Love, Hope, Desire, and Fear, and they the regents are of the four elements which frame the heart, and each diversely exercise their art, by force or circumstances or sleight, to prove their dreadful might upon that poor domain. Desire presented her false glass, and when the spirit dwelling there was spellbound to embrace what seemed so fair within that magic mirror, and dazed her by that bright error, it would have scorned the shafts of the avenger, and death and penitence and danger had not when silent fear touched with a pale-sighing spear, swayed as if a frozen torrent, the blood was curdled in its current. It dared not speak, even in look or motion, but chained within itself its proud devotion. Between desire and fear were word, a retching thing, poor heart. Sad was his life who bore thee in his breast, wild bird for that weak nest. Till love even from fierce desire it bore, and from the very wound of tender thought drew solace, and the pity of sweet eyes gave strength to bear those gentle agonies, surmount the loss, the terror, and the sorrow. Then hope approached, she who can bower for poor today, for which tomorrow. And fear withdrew, as night when day descants upon the orange ray. And after long and vain endurance, the poor heart woke to her assurance. And one birth these four were born, with the world's forgotten morn, and the pleasure still they hold, all its circles as of old. When the summer lures the swallow, pleasure lures the heart to follow. A weak heart of little wit, the fair hand that wounded it, seeking, like a panting hare, refuge in the lynx lair. Love, desire, hope, and fear ever will be near. Love, by Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. Why is it said that canst not live in a youthful breast and fair, since for eternal life canst give, canst bloom for everywhere? Since wearying pain nor power possessed, nor age to blanch thy wormel hue, nor time's dread victor death confessed, or bathed with his poisoned dew, still thou retain'st unchanging bloom, fixed tranquil even in the tomb. And oh, when on the blessed reviving the daystar dawns of love, each energy of soul surviving more vivid, soars to both, hast thou never felt a rapturous thrill, like June's warm breath, athwart we fly, or each idle went to steal when other passions die? Felt in it some wild noonday dream, when sitting by the lonely stream, where silence says, mine is the dead, and not a murmur from the plain, and not an echo from the fell disputes the silent rain. Love's Philosophy, by Percy, Bysshe, Shelley. The fountains mingle with the river, and rivers with the ocean. The winds of heaven mix forever with sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single, all things by a law divine. And when spirit meet and mingle, why not I with wine? See the mountains kiss a heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower would be forgiven if it disdained its brother, and the sun clasped the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What is all this sweet work worth, if thou kiss not me? Love's Rose, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Hopes that swell in youthful breasts, live not through the waste of time. Love's rose a host of thorns invest, cold, ungenial is the clime where its honours blow. Youth says, the purple flowers are mine, which die the while they glow. Dear the boon to fancy given, be attracted whilst it's granted. Sweet rose which lives in heaven, all on earth is planted, where its honours blow, while by earth's slaves the leaves are riven, which die the while they glow. Age cannot love destroy, but perfectly can blast a flower, even when in most unwearying hour it blooms in fancy's bower. Age cannot love destroy, but perfectly can rend the shrine in which its vermeil splendour shine. Love's tender atmosphere, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. With a warm and gentle atmosphere above the form of one we love, and was as in a tender mist our spirits are wrapped in the of that which is to us the health of life's own life. Love the universe today, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. And who feels discord now or sorrow, love is the universe today, we are the slaves of dim tomorrow, darkening life's labyrinthine way. Melody to a scene of former times, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Art thou indeed forever gone, forever, ever lost to me? Must this poor bosom beat alone, or beat at all, if not for we? Or why was love to mortals given, to lift them to the height of heaven, or dash them to the depths of hell? Yet I do not reproach thee, dear, I know. The agonies which swell this panting breast, this frenzied brain, might awake my slumbering tear. For heaven is witness I did love, and heaven does know I love thee still. Does know the fruitless sickening thrill, where reason's judgment vainly strove to blot me from my memory, but which might never, never be. Oh, I appeal to that blessed day when passion's wildest ecstasy was coldest to the joys I knew, when heavy stars sunk away. Oh, I had never lived before, but now those blisses are no more, and now I choose to live again. I do not blame thee, love, ah no. The breast that feels with anguished woe throbs for thy happiness alone. 2 years of speechless bliss are gone, I think we dearest for a dream. This night, what faint and distant scream comes on the wild and fitful blast? It moans for pleasures that are past, it moans for days that are gone by. While lagging hours, how slow you fly! I see a dark and lengthened veil, the black view closed with tomb. But darker is the lowering gloom that shades the inverting dale. And visions slumber for a while, I seem again to share thy smile, I seem to hang upon thy tone. Again you say, confide in me, for I am thine and thine alone, and mine must ever, ever be. What our awakening still knew, athwart my anguished senses flew, a fiercer, deadlier agony. Milton's Spirit, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I dreamed that Milton's spirit rose, and took from life's green tree his Iranian lute. From his touch sweet thunder flowed, and shook all human things built in contempt of man. And sanguine thrones and impious altars quaked, prisons and citadels. Music and Sweet Poetry, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. How sweet it is to sit and read the tales of mighty poets, and to hear the wild sweet music, which when the attention fails, fills the dim pause. Music, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I pant for the music which is diviner, my heart in its first is a dying flower. Pour forth a sound like enchanted wine, loosen the notes in a silver shower. Like a harpless plaint for a gentle rain, I gasp, I faint, till I wake again. Let me drink of spirit of its sweet sound, more, oh more, I am thirsting yet. It loosens the serpent which care has bound upon my heart to stifle it. The dissolving strain through every vein passes into my heart and brain. As a scant of a violet withered up, which grew by the brink of a silver lake, and the hot noon has drained its dewy cup, and mist there was none its first to slake, and the violet lay dead while the odor flew, and the wings of wind over the waters blew. As one who drinks from a charmed cup of foaming and sparkling and murmuring wine, whom a mighty enchantress filling up invites the love of a kiss divine. On a faded violet, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The odor from the flower is gone, which like thy kisses breathed on me. The colour from the flower is flown, which glowed of thee and only thee. A shriveled, lifeless, vacant form lies on my abandoned breast, and mocks the heart which yet is warm with cold and silent rest. I weep, my tears revive it not. I sigh, it breathes no more on me. Its mute and uncomplaining lot is such as mine should be. On Death, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The pale, the cold, and the moony smile which a meteor beam of a starless night sheds on a lonely and seagirt isle. Where the dawning of morn's undoubtful light is the flame of life so fickle and wan that flits round our steps till their strength is gone. O man, hold thee on and courage of soul, through the stormy shades of thy worldly way, and the billows of cloud that around thee roll shall sleep in the light of the wondrous day. Where hell and heaven shall leave thee free for the universe of destiny. This world is the nurse of all we know, this world is the mother of all we fear, and the coming of death is a fearful blow to a brain unencompassed with nerves of steel, and all that we know or feel or see shall pass like an unreal mystery. The secret things of the grave are there, where all but this frame must surely be, or the fine wrought iron, the wondrous strand, no longer will live to hear or to see all that is great and all that is strange in the boundless realm of unending change. Who telleth a tale of unspeaking death, or lifteth the veil of what is to come, who painteth the shadows that are beneath the wine-winning caves of a peopled tomb, or uniteth the hopes of what shall be with the fears and the laughter wit which we see? On leaving London for Wales, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Hail to thee, Cambria, for the unfettered winds which from the wilds even now methinks I feel, chasing the clouds that roll and raught behind, and tightening the soul's lax nerves to steel. True mountain liberty alone may heal the pain which customs of durance bring, and he who dares in fancy even to steal, one draught from Snowdon's ever-sacred spring, blots out the unholy treaty of worldly witnessing. And shall that soul, so selfish peace resigned, so soon forgot to woe its fellow share? Can Snowdon's leave from the freeborn mind so soon the page of injured pen retear? Does this fine mass of human passion dare to sleep, unhonoring the patriot's fall, or life's sweet load in quietude to bear, while millions famish even luxury's hall, and tyranny high raised stern lowers on all? Now, Cambria, never may thy matchless Wales the hearts of thoughts to hope and virtue shield, nor ever may thy spirit-breathing gales waft freshness to the slaves who dare to yield. For me, the weapon that I burn to wield, I seek amid the rocks to ruin hurled, and reason's flag may over freedom's field, symbol of bloodless victory, wave unfurled, a meteor sign of love effulgent over the world. Do thou, wild Cambria, calm each struggling thought, cast thy sweet veil of rocks and woods between, but by the soul to indignation wrought mountains and dales be mingled with the scene. Let me forever be what I have been, but not forever at my needy door let misery linger speechless, pale and lame. I am the friend of the unfriended poor, let me not madly stain their righteous cause in gore. Political Greatness, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Nor happiness, nor majesty, nor fame, nor peace, nor strength, nor skill in arms or arts, shepherd those hearts whom tyranny makes tame. Verse echoes not one beating of their hearts, history is but the shadow of their shame. Art wails alas, as of the pageant starts, as to believe in their blind millions fleet, staying at heaven with obscene imagery of their own likeness. What are numbers in it by force or custom? Man who man ought to be, must rule the empire of himself, and it must be supreme, establishing his throne on vanquished will, quelling the anarchy of hopes and fears, being himself alone. Remembrance, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Swifter far than summer's flight, swifter far than youth's delight, swifter far than happy night, art thou come and gone, as the earth when leaves are dead, as the night when sleep is sped, as the heart when joy is fled. I am left lone, alone. The swallow summer comes again, the owl at night resumes her ring, but a white swan youth is fain to fly with thee, false as woe. My heart each day desires tomorrow, sleep itself is turned to sorrow, vainly would my winter bow sunny leaves for my knee bow. Lilies for bridal bed, roses for matron's head, violets for maiden dead, pansies let my flowers be, and the living grave there be, scatter them without a tear. Let no friend, however dear, waste one hope, one fear for me. Rome and Nature, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Rome is fallen, ye see her lying, heaped in undistinguished ruin, nature is alone undying. Summer and Winter, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. It was a bright and cheerful afternoon, towards the end of a sunny month of June, when the northern conglomerates and crowds, floating mountains of a silver clouds on the horizon, and the stainless sky opens beyond them like eternity. All things rejoiced beneath the sun, the wheats, the river, and the cornfields and reeds, the willow leaves that glance in the light breeze, and the firm foliage of the larger trees. And it was a wind as such as when birds die in the deep forests, and the fishes lie stiffened in the translucent ice, which makes even the mud and slim of the warm lakes wrinkle clawed as hard as brick. And when among the children comfortable men gather about great fires and yet feel cold, alas then for the homeless beggar old. The Birth of Pleasure, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. And the creation of the earth, pleasure, the divinest birth, of a soul of heaven that rise, wrapped in sweet wild melodies, like an exhalation reffing into the sound of air-low breathing through alien pines, which make a shade and shelter to the lake, whence it rises soft and slow. her life-breathing limbs that flow in the harmony divine of an ever-lengthening line which enwrapped her perfect form with her beauty clear and warm. The Drowned Lover by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Faint are her limbs and her footstep is weary, yet far must the desolate wanderer roam. Though the tempest is stern and the mountain is dreary, she must quit at deep midnight her pitiless home. I see her swift foot dash the dew from the whirlpool as she rapidly hastens to the green grove of myrtle, and I hear as she wraps round her figure the kirtle, stay the boat on the lake, dearest Henry, I come. High swelled in her bosom the throb of affection, as lightly a form bounded over the lea, and arose in the mind every dear recollection. I come, dearest Henry, and wait but for thee. Or sad when dear hope ever sorrow is soothing, and sympathy swells if a soft bosom is moving, and the mind the mild joys of affection is proving, as the stern voice of fate that bids happiness flee. O dark Lord, the clouds of that horrible eve, and the moon dimly gleam through the tempested air. Oh, how could fond visions such softness deceive? Oh, how could false hope rend the bosoms so fair? The love's pallid course of white surges are laving, o'er his form is fierce swell of a tempest is raving. But fear not, parting spirit, the goodness is saving, in eternity's bowers a seat for beware. The Irishman's Song by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The stars may dissolve, the fountain of light may sink into near-ending chaos and night. All mansions must fall and earth vanish away, but thy courage or errand may never decay. See while wasting ruin extends all around, our ancestors' dwelling lies sunk on the grounds. Our foes ride and triumph throughout our domains, and our mightiest heroes lie stretched on the plains. Our dead is the harp which was wont to give pleasure, our sunk is our sweet country's rapturous measure, and the worn out is waked in the clangor of spears, a dread yell of slogan yet sounds in our ears. Ah, where are the heroes, triumphant in death? Convulsed they recline on the blood-sprinkled heath of a yelling ghost right from the blast that sweeps by, and, my countrymen, vengeance incessantly cry. The Past by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Wilt thou forget the happy hours which we burned in love's sweet bowers, heaping over the corpses cold, blossoms and leaves instead of mould, blossoms which were the joys that fell, and leaves the hopes that yet remain? Forget the dead, the past? Oh, yet there are ghosts that may take revenge for it, memories that make the heart a tomb, regrets which glide through the spirit's gloom, and with ghastly whispers tell the joy once lost is pain. The Rude Wind is Singing by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The rude wind is singing, the dirge of the music dead, the cold worms are clinching, where kisses were lately fed. The Sunset by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Where late was one, within whose subtle being, as light and wind within some delicate cloud, that fades amid the blue noon's burning sky, genius and death contented. None may know the sweetness of a joy which made his breath fail, like the trances of a summer air, when with the lady of his love, who when first knew the universe of mingled being, he walked along the pathway of a field, which to the east the whole wood shadowed o'er, but to the west was open to the sky. Where now the sun had sunk, but lights of gold hung on the ashen clouds, and on the points of the far level grass and nodding flowers, and the old dandelion's hoary bird, and, mingled with the shades of twilight, lay on the brown messy woods, and in the east the broad and burning moon lingering rose between the black trunks of the crowded trees, where the faint stars were gathering overhead. It is not strange, Isabel, said the youth. I never saw the sun. We will walk here tomorrow. Who shall look on it with me? That night the youth and lady mingled lay in laugh and sleep, and when the morning came, the lady found the lover dead and cold. They then believed that God in mercy gave it stroke. The lady died not, nor grew wild, but year by year lived on. In truth, I think, a gentleness and patience and sad smiles, and that she did not die, but lived to tend her aged father, were a kind of madness, if madness 'tis to be unlike the world. For but to see her were to read the tale, woven by some subtle bard, to make hard hearts dissolve away in wisdom working grief. Her eyes were black and lustrous and wan, her eyelashes were worn away with tears, her lips and cheeks were like things dead, so pale, her hands were thin, and through the wandering veins and weak articulations might be seen Daddy's ruddy light. The tomb of thy dead self, which one waxed ghost inhabits night and day, is all lost child and no remains of we. Inheritor of more than earth can give, passionless calm and silence unreproved. Whether the dead find, oh, not sleep but rest, and are the uncomplaining things we seem, or life, or drop in the deep sea of love, or what like wine mine epitaph were peace, which was the only moan she ever made. The Tower of Famine by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Amid the desolation of a city, which was a cradle and is now the grave of an extinguished people, suffered pity. Weeps over shipwrecks of oblivion's wave, there stand the Tower of Famine, as it built upon some prison homes whose dwellers rave. For bread and gold and blood, pain linked to guilt, agitates the light flame of her hours until its vital oil is spent or spilled. Where stand the pile, a tower amid the towers, and sacred domes, each marble-ribbled roof, the brazen-gated temples and the bowers of solitary wealth, the tempest-proof pavilions of the dark Italian air, are by its presence dimmed. They stand aloof, and are withdrawn, so that the world is bare, as if a spectre wrapped in shapeless terror amid a company of ladies fair, should glide and glow till it became a mirror of all their beauty and their hair and hue. The life of their sweet eyes, with all its error, should be absorbed, till way to marble grew. The Viewless and Invisible Consequence by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The viewless and invisible consequence watches thy goings out and comings in, and hovers o'er thy guilty sleep, unveiling every newborn deed, and faults more ghastly than those deeds. The world's wanderers by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Tell me, thou star, whose wings of light speed thee in thy fiery flight, in what cavern of the night with thy pinions close now? Tell me, moon, thou pale and grey, pilgrim of heaven's homeless way, in what depth of night or day seek'st thou repose now? Where the wind who wanderest like the world's rejected guest, hast thou still some secret nest on the tree or billow? Thoughts come and go in solitude by Percy Bysshe Shelley. My thoughts arise and fade in solitude. The versed woodland west that melts away like moonlight in the heaven of spreading day. How beautiful they were, how firm they stood, flecking the starry sky with woven pearl. Time long past by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Like the ghost of a dear friend dead is time long past. A town which is now forever fled, a hope which is now forever past. A love so sweet it could not last was time long past. There were sweet dreams in the night of time long past, and was it sadness or delight, each day a shadow onward cast, that made us wish it yet might last, that time long past. There's regret, almost remorse, for time long past. As like a child's beloved course, a father watches, till at last beauty is like remembrance cast from time long past. Time by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Unfathomable sea, whose waves are years, ocean of time whose waters of deep woe are brackish with the salt of human tears. O shoreless flood, which in thy ebb and flow clasp the limits of mortality, and sick of prey, yet holding on for more, vomitest thy wrecks on its inhospitable shore. Treacherous and calm and terrible in storm, who shall put forth on thee, unfathomable sea? To a friend released from prison by Percy Bysshe Shelley. For me, my friend, if not the tears that tremble in my faint eyes, and my heart beat fast with feelings which make rapture pain resemble, yet from my voice with falsehood start aghast, I thank thee, that the tyrant keep his chains and tears, yea, let him weep with rage to see thee freshly rising like strength from slumber, from the prison, which he vainly hoped the soul to bind, which on the chains must pray but fetter humankind. To a Star by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Sweet star, which gleaming over darksome scene, or fleecy clouds of silvery radiance fly'st, spangled of light on evening's shadowy veil, that shrouds the daybream from the waveless lake, lighting the hour of sacred love. More sweet when the expiring morn star's palely fires, sweet star, than varied nature sinks to sleep and all is hushed. All, save the voice of love, whose broken murmurings swell the balmy blast of soft Favonius, which at arrival sighs in the ear of stillness, out the order but lulled the slaves of interest to repose, with that mild, pitying gaze. Oh, I would look at thy dear beam, till every bond of sense became an immort. To Death by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Death, there's thy victory. To triumph whilst I die, to triumph whilst thine ebon wing enfolds my shuddering soul. O death, there's thy sting, that when the tides of murder roll, when nations groan, that kings may bask in bliss. Death, canst thou boast the victories such as this, when in his hour of pomp and power his blow the mightiest murder gave, mid nature's cries the sacrifice of millions to glut the grave. When sunk the tyrant desolation's slave, how freedom's lifeblood streamed upon thy shrine. Stern tyrant, couldst thou boast the victories such as mine? To know in dissolution's void that mortal's baubles sunk decay, that everything but love destroyed must perish with its kindred clay. Perish ambition's crown, perish her sceptred sway. From death's pale front fades pride's fastidious throne, and death's dim vault will lurid fires desay. That envy light as heaven-born virtue's beam, but all the cares subside, which lurk beneath the tide of life's unquiet stream. Yes, this is victory. When on yon rock, whose dark form glooms the sky, to stretch these pale limbs, the soul is fled, to bear the lean passions of a prey, to sleep within the palace of a dead. Oh, not the king, around whose dazzling throne, as countless courtiers mock the words they say, dreams amid the bud of glory blown, as I in this cold bed and faint expiring groan. Tremble, ye proud, whose grandeur mocks the woe, which robs the column of unnatural state. You the plainings, faint and low, for misery's tortuous soul that flows shall usher to your fate. Tremble, ye conquerors, at whose fell command warfare and rides over a peaceful land. Your desolation's gory throng shall bear from victory along to that mysterious strand. To Italy by Percy Bysshe Shelley. As the sunrise to the night, as the north wind to the clouds, as the earthquake's fiery flight, ruining mountain solitudes, everlasting Italy, leave us hopes and fears on we. To Mary who died in this opinion, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Maiden quaint to glare of sorrow, struggling in thine haggard eye, firmness dare to bow for the wreck of destiny. For the ray morn's bloom revealing can never boast so bright in hue as that which mocks concealing, and sheds its loveliest light on you. Yet is the tide departed which bound thy lovely soul to bliss, has it left thee broken-hearted in a world so cold as this. Yet thou, fainting fair one, so self thy cup is given, dream thou'lt meet thy dear one, nevermore to part in heaven. Existence would a barter for dreams so dear as wine, and smile to thy imagery on affection's bloodless shrine. Note that change for pleasure that withered hand and ashy cheek, in my heart enshrine the treasure such as forces wine to break. Tomorrow, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Where art thou, beloved, tomorrow, when young and old and strong and weak, rich and poor, through joy and sorrow, by sweet smiles we ever seek, in thy place, a well a day, we find the things we fled today. Tonight, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Swiftly walk over the western wave, spirit of night, out of the misty eastern cave, where all belong a lonely daylight over wolves' dreams of joy and fear, which make thee terrible and dear, swift be thy flight. Wrap her form in a mantle grey, star enwrought, blind with thine hair the eyes of day, kiss her until she be wearied out, and wander o'er city and sea and land, touching all the fine opiate want, come long sought. When I arose and saw the dawn, I sighed for we. The light rode high and the dew was gone, and noon lay heavy on flower and tree. The very day turned to his rest, lingering like an unloved guest, I sighed for we. Thy brother Death came and cried, wouldst for me? Thy sweet child sleep, the filmy-eyed, murmur like a noontide bee, shall I nestle near thy side? Wouldst thou me? And I replied, no, not we. Death will come when thou art dead, soon, too soon. Sleep will come when thou art fled. Of neither would I ask the boon I ask of thee, beloved night. Swiftly wind approaching flight, come soon, soon. To one singing, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. My spirit like a charmed bark doth swim upon the liquid waves of wise sweet singing, far, far away into the regions dim of rapture, as a boat with swift sails winging its way adown some many winding river speeds through dark forests of the water swinging. To the mind of man, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The living light that in the rainbow hues clothes this naked world, and of the sea and earth and air and other shapes that be in peopled darkness of this wondrous world, the spirit of a glorious dust diffuse, truth for vital flame, mysterious thought that in this mortal frame of things with unextinguished lustre burns, nor pale and faint, nor high to heaven upcurled, that ere as thou dost linger still returnest, and ever before the pyramids. So soon as from the earth, formless and rude, one living step had chased drear solitude, or word, thought, the brightness charmed the lids of the vast snake eternity, who kept the tree of good and evil. To the moon, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Bright wanderer, fair coquette of heaven, to whom alone it has been given to change and be adored forever. Envy not this dim world, for never but once within its shadow grew one fair as. To the Moonbeam, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Moonbeam, leave the shadowy veil to bathe this burning brow. Moonbeam, why art thou so pale, as thou walk'st over dewy dale, where humble wildflowers grow? Is it to mimic me? But that can never be, for thine orb is bright, and the clouds are light, that at intervals shall the star-stopped night. Nor all is deathly still on earth. Nature's tired frame reposes, and ere the golden morning's birth its radiant hues discloses, flies forth its balmy breath. But mine is the midnight of death, and nature's morn to my bosom forlorn brings but a gloomier night, implants the deadlier frown. Wretch, suppress the glare of madness, struggling in thine haggard eye, for the keenest throb of sadness, pale despair's most sickening sigh, is but to mimic me, and this must ever be, when the twilight of care and the night of despair seem not bliss, but joys to the pangs that rankle there. To the people of England, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. People of England, ye who toil and groan, who reap the harvest which are not your own, who weave the clothes which our oppressors wore, and for your own take the inclement air, who build warm houses, and thy gods who give them all they have, and nurse them from the cradle to the grave. To the Queen of my heart, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Shall we roam, my love, to the twilight grove, and the moon is rising bright? Oh, I'll whisper where in the cold night air, what I dare not in broad daylight. I tell thee a part of the thoughts that start to being when thou art nigh, and thy beauty more bright when the star's soft light shall seem as a weft for the sky. And the pale moonbeam and tower and stream sheds a flood of silver sheen. How I love to gaze as the cold ray strays over thy face, my heart's thrown green. Wilt thou roam with me to a restless sea, and linger upon the steep, and list to the flow of the waves below, or they toss and roar and leap. Those boiling waves and the storm that raves at night over a foaming crest resemble the strife that from earliest life the passions have raged in my breast. Or come and then drove to the sea or the grove, and the moon is rising bright, and I whisper where in the cool night air what I dare not in broad daylight. To Wordsworth by Percy Bysshe Shelley, poet of nature, thou hast wept to know that things depart which never may return. Childhood and youth, friendship and love's first glow, have fled like sweet dreams, leaving thee to mourn. These common woes I feel, one loss is mine, which thou too feelest, yet I alone deplore. Thou wert as a lone star, whose light did shine on some frail bark on winter's midnight roar. Thou hast like to a rock-bed refuge stood over the blind and battling multitude. In honored poverty thy voice did weave songs consecrate to truth and liberty. Deserting these, thou leavest me to grief, thus having been that thou shouldst cease to be. The variation of a Song of the Moon by Percy Bysshe Shelley. As the violet's gentle eye gazes on the azure sky, until its hue grows like what it beholds, as the grey and empty mist lies like solid amethyst of western mountain it enfolds, when the sunset leaps upon its snow. As a strain of sweetest sound wraps itself in wind around, and the voiceless wind be music too, as all too dark, vain and dull, basking in what is beautiful, is full of light and love. Victoria by Percy Bysshe Shelley. 'Twas dead of a night when I sat in my dwelling, when a glimmering lamp was expiring and low. Around the dark tide of a tempest was swelling, along the wild moonbeams night ravens were yelling, my bodingly presaged destruction and woe. 'Twas when I started, the wild storm was howling, naught was seen, save a lightning which danced in the sky. Above me the crash of the thunder was rolling, and low chilling murmurs the blast waved by. My heart sank within me, unheeded the war of the battling clouds on the mountain tops broke. Unheeded the thunder peal crashed in mine ear, this hard as iron, a stranger to fear, but conscious as low, noiseless whispering spoke. 'Twas then that her form on the whirlwind upholding, the ghost of the murdered Victoria strode. In her right hand a shadowy shroud she was holding, she swiftly advanced to my lonesome abode. I wildly went caught on the tempest to bear me. War by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Ambition, power, and avarice now have hurled death, fate, and ruin on a bleeding world. See, on yon heath what countless victims lie. Hark what loud shrieks ascend through yonder sky. Tell them the cause. 'Tis sure the avenger's rage has swept these myriads from life's crowded stage. Hark to that groan, an anguished hero dies. He shudders in death's last agonies. Yet does a fleeting hectic flush his cheek. Yet does his parting grief essay to speak. O God, my wife, my children, monarch woe, for whose support this fainting frame lies low, for whose support in distant lands I bleed. Let his friends well forbid the warrior's meed. He hears me not, ah no, kings cannot hear, for passion's voice is styled the listless ear. For thee then, mighty God, I lift my moan, woe wilt not scorn a suppliant's anguished groan. O now I die, but still as death's fierce pain, God hears my prayer, we meet again. He spake, reclined him on death's bloody bed, and with a parting groan his spirit fled. Oppressors of mankind, to you we owe the baleful streams from whence these miseries flow. For you how many a mother weeps her son, snatched from life's course ere half his race was run. For you how many a widow drops a tear in silent anguish on her husband's bier. Is it then thine almighty power, she cries, when tears of endless sorrow dim these eyes? Is this the system which by powerful sway, which else in shapeless chaos sleeping lay, formed and approved? It cannot be, but oh, forgive me heaven, my brain is wrought by woe. 'Tis not, he never bade the war notes swell, he never triumphed in the work of hell. Monarchs of earth, thine's the baleful deed, thine are the crimes for which thy subjects bleed. Ah, when will come the sacred fated time, when man unsullied by his leader's crime, despising wealth, ambition, pomp, and pride, will stretch him fearless by his foeman's side? Ah, when will come the time when o'er the plain no more shall death and desolation reign? When will the sun smile on the bloodless field, and the stern roy's arm the sickle wield? Not while some king in cold ambition's dreams plans for the field of death his plotting schemes, not whilst the private peak of the public fall, and one frail mortal's mandate governs all. Swelling with command and mad with dizzying sway, who sees unmoved his myriads fade away, careless so lives or dies, so that he gains some trivial point for which he took the pains. What when are kings? I see the trembling crowd, I hear the fulsome clamours echoed loud. The stern oppressor plashed appears so wild, but rebel sunshine is the monarch's smile. Kings are but dusk, The last eventful day will level all and make them lose their sway, will dash the sceptre from the monarch's hand, and from the warrior's grasp wrest the ensanguined brand. O peace of peace, art thou forever gone? Is a fair form indeed forever flown, and laugh and conquered hast thou slipped away, as if incongruous with thy parted sway? Alas, a fear thou hast, for none appear, nor o'er the palsied earth stalks giant fear, of war and woe and terror in his train. Lightning it pauses on the embattled plain, then speeding swiftly over the ensanguined heath, has left the frightful work to hell and death. Seek our ruin jerks his bloody stained car, he scans the battle's carnage from afar. Hell and destruction mark his mad career, he tracks the rapid step of hurrying fear. Whilst ruined towns and smoking cities tell that thy work, monarch, is a work of hell. It is thy work. I hear a voice repeat, shakes the broad bases of a blood-stained seat, and at the orphan's side the widow's moan totters the fabric of a guilt-stained throne. It is thy work, O monarch. Now the sound fainter and fainter, yet is borne and ruined, yet to enthusiast ears the murmurs tell that heaven, indignant at the work of hell, will soon the hated cause remove, which tears from earth peace, innocence, and love. We meet not as we parted, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. We meet not as we parted, we feel more than all may see. The bosom is heavy-hearted, and wineful of doubt for me. On moment is bound the free. But moment is gone forever, like lightning that flashed and died. Like a snowflake upon the river, like a sunbeam upon the tide, which the dark shadows hide. That moment from time was singled as the first of a life of pain. The cup of its joy was mingled, delusion too sweet for wane, too sweet to be mine again. Sweet lips, could my heart have hidden that its life was crushed by you, you would not have then forbidden the death which your heart so true sought in your briny dew. Methinks to little cost, for a moment so found, so lost. What man gain fairly, by Percy Bysshe Shelley? What man gain fairly, where they should possess, and children may inherit idleness from him who earns it, this is understood. Private injustice may be general good, but he who gains by base and armed wrong or guilty fraud or base compelliance may be despoiled, even as a stolen dress is stripped from a convicted thief, and he left in the nakedness of infamy. When soft winds and sunny skies, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. When soft winds and sunny skies with the green earth harmonize, and the young and dewy dawn, bold as an unhaunted fawn, of the windless heaven is gone, laugh, for ambushed is the day, clouds and whirlwinds watch their prey. When the lamp is shattered, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. When the lamp is shattered, the light and the dust lies dead, and the cloud is scattered, the rainbow's glory is shed, and the lute is broken, sweet tones are remembered not, and the lips have spoken, loved accents are soon forgot. As music and splendor survive not the lamp and the lute, the heart's echoes render no song when the spirit is mute. The song but sad dirges, like a wind through a ruined cell, of a mournful surge that ring the dead seaman's near. When hearts have once mingled, laughter leaves a well-built nest. A weak one is singled to endure what is once possessed. I laugh who bewailest the frailty of all things here. Why choose you the frailest for your cradle, your home, and your briar? Its passions will rock we as the storms will rock the ravens on high. Bright reason will mock we like the sun from a wintry sky. From thy nest ever rafter will rot, and thine eagle home leave thee naked to laughter when leaves fall and cold winds come.